Hello, so today I would like to share a thought from my new kitchen, and I would like to share a challenge. So about 2 years ago we started renovating our kitchen. It was very old, a lot of the cupboards were broken, and it was just very old, but it's taken us this long to, well, we're not even quite finished it yet, but last week we had our tiles put up. So that's looking really good. So I don't really like showing my new kitchen just because I know if you have an old kitchen then it can easily make you feel discontent, because that's what I used to find when I had an old kitchen. So for that reason I don't like to show you, but I think it's good to remember that no matter how old our home may be, or the areas in our home that we may not like or we wish for more new, compared to a good percentage of the people in our world, it is still a palace, and many people would love to live in our home. So it's good to keep that in mind. So with this kitchen, Johan pretty much designed everything, and that's because he's way better at doing it than me. I can't picture anything. If I had planned it, it wouldn't have looked very good, because I just can't imagine what it's going to look like. So if I had have chosen, I probably would have just done a completely white kitchen, and it probably would have needed sunglasses because we have 3 windows in our kitchen. So Johan chose most of it. He did try to include me in choosing different things, but because he's better at it, I just kind of let him do most of the choosing. But some of the things that he chose are not things that I would have chosen. Like even these tiles, when he showed me the different tiles there were to choose from, that's the one I probably wouldn't have chosen. I didn't think the dark one looked so good. It's dark grey. And yet now that I see them up, I really like it. I really like the contrast between the tiles and the walls, and also the countertops. So he chose, and now I think it looks really good, even though I didn't think so when I first saw the tiles, because I know what I would have chosen. And I wouldn't have chosen this countertop either. I didn't like it that much, and yet now that I have it up, I really like it, especially with the blue cupboards, the dark blue cupboards. And even the cupboards, I probably wouldn't have chosen blue. But now that I see them, now it's nearly all finished, I really like them, and I'm so glad that I just let him choose, because he knows how to do it much better than me. But to me it's a picture of what it's like with God. I think of that quote, God gives his very best to those who leave the choice with him. So when we let God choose and be in control of our lives and be the one who chooses, then he does such a better job than we can do, because we can't see the future and we can't see the big picture, but God can. And that's why it's so important to let him make the choices. But that doesn't mean we don't make any decisions, but it means we make decisions with much prayer and asking God for wisdom, and then following where he leads us. It's best to let God choose. And another thing is, when I let Johan choose, he chose some dark shades or dark colours. So he chose dark tiles, and he chose dark cabinets, but it's not all dark. He chose light places too. But I think, when we let God choose in our lives, he will bring some dark times or some dark things, as in things that we would not have chosen, or things that we don't like. And I think of this quote, God does his deepest workings in our darkest hours. And there's also another quote, if you feel like you're in a dark place and you're being buried, then maybe God is actually planting you. But we don't like dark things, or things that are sad, or things that are hard, and yet with the big picture of our lives, one day we will be so thankful for those things, because God knows best, and he gives us what is best when we let him be the boss, be the one in charge. So if you have things that you don't like, or things that you find hard, one day you will appreciate them, because they will be doing you good. One day you'll see the big picture, and then you will appreciate them. And just another thought, yesterday Johan was sharing a message about from John 15 about Jesus being the vine and God being the husbandman or the gardener, and he was talking about God's care for the vine. So the gardener takes care of the vine, and one of the ways he does that is to prune the vine. And so if you think of hard times in our lives being like us being pruned, then when God prunes us, he's taking care of us. So if the gardener takes care of his plants, then he prunes them and cuts them back where it's necessary. And that just really struck me, because when we are going through something hard, that's often when we doubt whether God is caring for us, or whether he's really there, or whether he loves us. Those are the times that it's very easy to doubt, and yet it is because God cares for us that he is pruning us. So I think that's a good thought. And the challenge. So when we do have things that are hard, it's so easy to be focused on those things, and it's easy to feel down or feel depressed, and so it is really important to be thankful. So this week I gave myself a challenge, and I started writing down in my prayer journal all the different things I had to be thankful for. So I also wrote down the problems that I don't have. So it's good to count the good things that we have, but also the bad things that we don't have. There are so many health problems that I don't have. And so it's good to be thankful for those things. And also it's good to count the things we do have that are hard and to thank God for them too, because those things have a good purpose, even though the things we don't like. If we love God, we're one of his children, then we have his promise that those things are working together for our good. So we do need those things, so we can thank God for those too. So I challenge you to write down all the things you have to be thankful for, and include the people you have in your life that you're thankful for, the spiritual blessings like God's forgiveness, God's grace, God's love, God's presence, the Bible. To just be able to have your own Bible is a huge blessing. The opportunities that you have, the talents that you have. Talents are gifts from God. So what talents has God given you? So count the problems that you don't have, because there are a lot. To count all the physical things, like if you lost your house and everything in it, how many things you would miss every day. There are so many things we have in our homes that we would miss if we didn't have. So it's good to think of how many things we have that we use every day and that we are thankful for. And there's also health as well. So just to be able to see, just to be able to hear, to be able to walk. Those are all big things to be thankful for. So that is a challenge for you. Oh, and one more verse about darkness. And it's from Isaiah 45, verse 3. I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which call thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. So I like how it says, I will give thee the treasures of darkness. So any dark times in our lives, there are treasures in there for us. And it says that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which call thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. So part of that treasures of darkness is to know God, to know his nearness and his presence, and to know what he's like.
What are you doing, Ned?
Die.
Can you tie it up?
Okay. At the top, goodbye. That's it. That's it. Okay.
What are you doing? Still haven't got that hair up yet, have we? You're still trying.
Bye.